Actually, I don't think a montage would fit. Let me try something a little different. Okay, so hi, my name is Brandon Baker, and this is my beautiful application scrapbook. It's a little different, but hopefully it'll be worth it. I made this scrapbook kind of about my travels that me and my buddy Jake do. We call our traveling, we call it living in the Civic, because that's what we do. We live out of my 2004 two-door Honda Civic. It's really challenging at times, but we overcome those difficulties, and it may be uncomfortable, but we love it and wouldn't have it any other way. We are from Kansas originally.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
We're getting arrested. Bye, guys. Those guys are from Kansas.
Our travels have actually taught me quite a lot, like logistics, resourcefulness, and, embracing the uncomfortable. We've been living out of the Civic, or traveling with the Civic, for almost 4 years now. It's about June of 2014 where we began. Since then, we've hit the lower 48, a lot of them more than once, like Colorado, 7 to 10 mountains. A handful of those were actually state high points. 100,000 miles driven, 8 different countries. I hit a lot of those when I was solo backpacking Europe. And then, of course, countless memories. Some good and some not so good, but that'll happen sometime. Over those years, I've also honed a lot of other skills, like photography. But Jake and I go to all sorts of crazy places, like tops of mountains, and this has helped me hone in my photography skills to taking photos in more than one type of style. I'll do adventure, night photography, aerial photography, and this has really made me develop my skills into a well-rounded photographer, which is something I think would be very useful. Jake and I, when we hike to some of these places, we often pack very lightly and don't bring a tripod. So when we get some of these angles and shots, it's a lot of solution finding and trying to use our surroundings to get some of these different angles. And that's something I could bring to the table is, a little bit of outside of the box thinking, which is always helpful. One thing I think you will really need is someone who's not afraid to leave their comfort zone. And that's something I do often. The biggest trip we took was leaving here from Kansas City. That's where we live, or, pretty much where we live. And we drove all the way across Kansas, all the way across Colorado. And we went up through Wyoming and Montana, hitting all those national parks along the way. And while we're doing this, we're actually using an atlas to get around. Atlas and a very outdated GPS. So this whole time I'm working with maps and navigation, which are 2 skills that will be very important for what we will be doing. On top of that, I'm also the driver. So all these long periods of time where I'll be driving 14 hours straight, all these long stretches through the night, these are skills that I think would pretty much directly correlate with sailing. If I need to stay up late and man the wheel, I can do that. It's something I've done many times before and will be nothing new to me. This is our first really big trip, and it took us 34 days. So that's 34 days of eating like this.
So me and Jake are balling on a budget, so we're here cooking rice in the camp stove and parking lot surrounded by fancy restaurants. Hopefully we don't get kicked out.
So that means over those 34 days, we really worked on our cooking skills to make what we ate not so gross. There's us trying to figure out where we are and where to go. And occasionally, we'd have to find some uncomfortable places to sleep other than the car. And our travels actually brought us lots of other amazing opportunities, like our school has a podcast that they brought us on for old alumni that are doing great things in the world.
Adventure.
Yeah.
Right? So talk through what it's like some of the challenges of being 2 guys sharing that kind of a vehicle, a vessel for fun.
Yeah. It's a tight quarters, so for sure.
Logistically, it's just a nightmare, but that's kind of what makes it fun.
Sleeping in it was probably the biggest issue. Jake would be in the passenger seat because I would drive everywhere.
And it's actually inspired/motivated us to create our own podcast. It's still in the works since Jake went back to college, but having fun doing it.
all right, we got nothing else to do.
It didn't seem like a bad idea.
Because it wasn't very late, but it's just dark because it was midwinter.
Yeah, so the days were short.
It was
probably only like 8 or something.
8 o'clock, so we had nothing. We weren't going to sit in our car for that much longer.
And we weren't tired.
And so we started climbing this bluff, and we thought it was going to be super easy, but then it turned into like a scramble up this cliffside.
Yeah.
And then there was like cactuses everywhere.
Another new thing that I've been doing, and it took me really out of my comfort zone, was stand-up comedy. I was doing stand-up comedy about travel stories and some of the funny moments I've had while traveling. This has also been helping me with my storytelling skills and my communication skills. 2 more things that I think would prove to be very helpful as a crew member. And finally, if you want to check out any of my social media, you can check me out on bbaker248 on Instagram, or GraffitiKC also on Instagram for some of my graffiti photography of Kansas City. I also have Living the Civic Instagram, post some photos of me and Jake from our travels, but mainly I post on the bbaker248 and GraffitiKC. I also have a YouTube channel where you can find some of our travel videos, some of the situations where we almost died, getting caught in a blizzard on top of the mountain. But even when we're in dangerous situations like that, I'm still able to think critically, which is something that'll be very important. So throughout all these years of traveling, I've been, learning and developing skills that'd be perfect as a crew member. Leadership, resourcefulness, logistics, embracing the uncomfortable, photography, editing, critical thinking, all things that would make me a perfect crew member. And I left these last pages blank, because that's for the unknown of what could happen. 4 years ago, me and Jake made a decision to start traveling on a Civic, and it's led to some amazing opportunities. And I wonder what opportunities would come next if you gave me this one. Okay, so this is just me kind of wrapping up my application video. I just wanted to, talk to the camera, talk to you. Don't really edit, don't do a lot of cuts. Hopefully make this a one take. Just adding some more points on why I think I'd be well fit for the crew, and kind of just talk with you and see where it goes. I jot down a couple of notes of things I want to mention, but there's no real script, so I don't know where this is going to go, and hopefully it goes okay. I'm going to try it one take. I'll probably mess up, but I'll keep on keeping on. So I'm just going to start off with some jobs I have. I think some of the skills I learned from those jobs correlate pretty well to what we'll be doing in the Mediterranean. In your video, I'll start with, you mentioned in your video, maybe you're a bomb cook, and a bomb cook I am not, but I do have skills in the kitchen. I worked at a produce department and a Renaissance Festival where we would prep food at the Renaissance Festival, occasionally cook some food, but I have experience prepping food in like high quantities and doing it, for 8 hours a day, prepping food. I worked at the salad bar at produce department as well as stocking other food, but the salad bar we had to cut and prep all the salads, all the fruits and everything. So I do have some experience in the kitchen, as well as me and Jake, we've done a bunch of other random stuff like try to be chocolatiers for whatever reason. So we'd go and get all these ingredients and we'd work and try to make our own chocolate in the kitchen as well as other random things. So I do have experience in the kitchen. I'm not like some Chef Boyardee, but I can hold my own. One thing I do think people are going to overlook when they apply for the job is that it's going to be fun and we're going to do a lot of creative stuff, but I feel like when we're sailing in the Mediterranean, it's, there's going to be a lot of manual labor. We're going to be out in the heat. It's going to be pretty intense at times, and I think people are overlooking that, So as far as, I do have creative skills, but I also have skills with manual labor. I worked at a ski resort, and I worked at a moving company. So, with the moving company, I'd work 15-hour days at some points, and moving heavy boxes in 100-degree Kansas heat, which is just humid and gross. And then Snow Creek, I'd work shoveling, doing more manual labor in below freezing temperatures. So I have experience with in the heat, doing hard work for long periods of time. And so transitioning to working on a sailboat, I think I'd be a lot easier for me to transition to doing some manual labor work, living out on the sea, compared to someone that's maybe only done creative work. I think it'd be a harder transition for them. And I think it's really important that we're going to be doing a lot of work, and I think I could hold my own on the ship. Let's see. I also have experience editing and photography. YouTube has been my life since I created my account in 2009, I believe. That's all I watch. That's my life, pretty much like what I said. I don't watch cable. I'm not into Netflix or Hulu. It's just YouTube. I don't really look up to, besides Mark Wahlberg, celebrities. My celebrities and people I look up to and aspire to be are YouTubers. I think it's just an amazing job, and if I could have the opportunity to make it my job, my living, it'd make my it'd be awesome. It'd make my world. I don't know why I'm getting sad about that. But I've been making videos since around that same time, 2009, 2010, more sporadically, not very regular. And a lot of them are private because they're very cringe and embarrassing. I don't want anyone to watch them. But I have been doing it. I've been trying my best. Even before YouTube, I had my dad's handheld camcorder, and I was making videos out in my cul-de-sac with my neighborhood kids. So this isn't like something new, something that I've just become interested in. It's something I've always wanted to do, and if given the opportunity, I would put my heart and soul into it. Social media is gonna be a big important thing, and I have experience, managing multiple accounts. I have my Living in the Civic account, and I just created another account called Graffiti KC, which is for my photography of graffiti in Kansas City that I take. And they're not huge accounts by any means, but each one's different kind of content, adventure content, more artistic content, and managing those and posting on those, they're kind of different stuff, and swapping over to like posting more artistic stuff to posting more adventure stuff, it's different. And I do have a little bit of experience, managing those with they also have Facebook pages attached to them, so the Facebook pages, the Instagrams, and like the YouTube. And same with, I just started Twitch, and that's a lot about posting on social medias. So I'm really active and able to do posting in social medias because that's probably what we'll have to do to make sure our content is watched and get put out there to people that haven't seen it or people that know who we are. So I have experience managing different accounts. Same with the Twitch. I've only been on Twitch. I've done close to 15 streams, about 2 months almost, and I have a little over 200 followers and almost 1,000 views, which isn't a lot by any means, but I haven't done it for very long. I'm still very new to it, but it's exciting and it's something new. And maybe while we're out at sea, it'd be kind of cool to maybe figure out how we could do like some live streams, or maybe live stream while we're docked somewhere. I think it'd be kind of interesting and different. But I have that, and then I have my degree in video game design, which doesn't really relate, directly to doing this adventure stuff. But I feel like, in the long term, I do have a kind of not really a goal, but I'd like to open up my own video game studio, maybe a small one with friends I know from the industry. And I think this would give me a lot of experience that I could take and maybe make a game out of. And I think that'd be really awesome. Even then, so if I wanted to, correlate it to living out of our ship, I have a lot of experience with tech and stuff. So if we want to make a game relative to what we're doing or something, maybe make a mobile app or a mobile game, I could figure out how to get that done. I have the skills necessary if that's something we wanted to do. Driving, with Living the Civic, I was the driver. So that means sometimes I would drive for 14 hours straight, drive through the night, wake up early, drive, whatever it be. So I have the skills necessary if you need me to like watch over the ship, or whatever it could be. I have experience like doing something where I need to stay focused for long periods of times, or stay awake through the night. That's nothing new to me. I know that's probably a skill like maybe a lot of people have, but I would drive through the night, and I'd have to stay focused on the road and stay focused for 14 hours driving through the night. So if you need me to like man the wheel or whatever you need, that's something I could do, and I could do well. Let's see what else I got. Currently I work at a school. I work at a middle school, and it's off season, but I do. This has been my second year being the assistant coach for the high school swim team. So with these two jobs, I learned to be a leader. I learned to I gained more skills of like absorbing knowledge too. But if you needed me to get put into a position where I need to lead, or I need to teach someone how to do something that maybe they're not very good at, or it's a new skill to them, or they want to get better at it, I could, if I have that skill, I could very well coach them and teach them on how to use this so they can know how to do it too. Or maybe bring some people onto the boat or wherever we're at, and we want to make a nice big video or project, and it takes a lot to manage these people. With coaching, I'm able to manage a group of kids, students, so I can manage a group of people to accomplish a task, and that's probably very helpful with what we're doing. I'm going to make all these different like videos and stuff. So if you need me to take charge or to, lead a group of people to accomplish something, that's something I can do. And as well with these jobs, I've learned to, it's weird, but when you apply to be like help teach at a middle school, you don't think you're also going to gain the skills necessary to like absorb knowledge better. But I feel like as a coach and as a teacher, the kids and the students, they've helped me like be able to learn things better. I don't know if that makes sense, but I've learned so much from my swimmers. I've learned so much from the kids I teach, and they, everyone has different like learning styles. So I learned different learning styles, which helps me acquire knowledge better. I don't know how to word it, but I don't know. I've just been able to like learn things more easily, having seen the different ways like someone else would learn something, if that makes sense. I think that's all I have for the job stuff, but I'm not a master on any one thing. So if you want a master editor, I'm not that. But I can edit, and I can edit very well. And I have been, this is a skill and something I've been interested in for a long time. I'm a jack of all trades, but a master of none is what they would say. And every job that I do well, and I want to be the best at. And adventure and the stuff that me and Jake have done traveling out of the Civic has been some of the best times of my life. And I didn't really know what to do after high school, but when we started traveling, it just opened my eyes to like a whole new world that I thought I could never have. And that was about 4 years ago that me and Jake made the decision to start traveling. So I just want to keep on traveling. And, when my friends from high school or whatever tell me that I'm their inspiration to start traveling, or I'm the reason they decided to take just a little trip. And it's amazing that people like reach out to me and tell me that I inspired them to go do something awesome that they've always wanted to do. And I just never thought I would be that guy. And I just want to keep on inspiring people and create amazing content, amazing travel content, whatever, to keep on inspiring people to travel, which is something I love doing. I want to share my passion with the world. I want to show what the world has to offer to other people. And you're given this opportunity, and I'd love to, try my best to excel at it and make amazing content with you and travel around the Mediterranean and just have fun. And I think one of the most important things is we gotta like each other. We're gonna be close quarters. We have to like each other. And I'm known to be a pretty likable guy and pretty down to earth, pretty easygoing. So I'm easy to get along with, and I'm a funny guy. We can joke around. I think we'd have a lot of fun doing it, and hopefully I'll hear back from you. If not, I look forward to seeing what type of amazing content your crew makes from the Mediterranean. So thanks for this opportunity.